Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Let's be grateful today because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed us strength to gather in this last place. Brothers and sisters, rahimakumullah, some booty or prisoner of war were brought to Messenger of Allah, and he distributed them, giving some men and neglecting others. Then he was informed that those who had not given a thing were displeased. On this Messenger of Allah praised Allah and glorified Him and said, "It is the fact that I give to one and overlook another. The one I ignore is dearer to me than the one I give. I give to those in whose heart I perceive anxiety. Others I live with the richness and contentment that Allah has put in their heart." One of them is Amr bin Taghlib. Upon this, Amr bin Taghlib said, "By Allah, I shall not accept a herd of red camels in exchange for what the Prophet said about them." So this hadith clearly tells us one important message about being ikhlas or sincerity in Islam. The word ikhlas means clean, pure, or something that is not mixed. Being sincere servant of God means that to make Allah as the only purpose. So getting closer to God is only intentions, not to get compliment or praise from people. Thus, it can be concluded that sincerity is doing something with the hope of the pleasure of Allah alone and not accompanying it with the hope of the pleasure of other than Allah. Ikhlas or sincere is the highest stations of love and servitude to God. Inna anzalna ilaikal kitab bil haqq fa'budillaha mukhlishan lahuddin. Surely we have revealed you the book with the truth. Therefore, serve Allah, being sincere to Him in obedience. Brother and sister, rahimakumullah, one of the popular ulama in Indonesia, Sheikh Nawawi Al-Bantani, who live in Makkah Al-Mukarramah and teach there, divides sincerity or ikhlas into three levels. The first level is the highest level that we call ikhlasul muhibbin, or the sincerity of the lovers. At this level, a servant only hopes for the pleasure of God without thinking about whether his worship will take him to Jannah or heaven or to hell. The second level is the sincerity of the servant, ikhlasul abidin. At this level, a worshipping servant hopes that God will reward him, such as being admitted to heaven or avoiding hell. So, at this level, the servant observes praying to Allah because they consider it as the obligations. Though it's not the perfect form of ikhlas, but most ulama accept this kind of attitude. And the third, the lowest level of ikhlas, where servant of God perform the ibadah or prayer, wishing Allah will return it in form of materials of the benefit in this dunya, like people perform salat duha, for example, in expecting that Allah will give him a more fortune. So most of the ulama concluded that beyond these three motives, it considered as riya, or not in the form of ikhlas. Riya means to falsely make oneself appear to be good natured or a true believer before people for the sake of earning their respect and admirations. Brother and sister rahimakumullah, so the next question is how to preserve ikhlas in our heart, and how to keep us being ikhlas as a servant of the God. At least we can do two things. First, we have to remind ourselves that our duties in this life is only for Allah. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin. Truly my prayer and my service of sacrifice, my life and my death are for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. So never count our good deeds because we're doing it for Allah, and make Allah as the only purpose of our life. The second thing that we can do is keep asking Allah to keep our heart being sincere. So never forget, and don't forget to keep asking Him to bestow our heart the feeling of grateful, the feeling of ikhlas, the feeling of love to Him. Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha wa zakkaha wa anta khairu man zakkaha anta waliyuha wa maulaha. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min nafsin la tashba wa min qalbin la yakhsha wa min ilmin la yanfa wa da'watin la tustajab. Oh Allah, make my soul obedient and purify, for you are the best one to purify. You are its guardian and Lord. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in your throne, and a soul that is not satisfied, a heart that is not humble, knowledge that is not no benefit, and a supplications that is not answered. So we can find a lot of form of prayers that in hadith or in Quran that is aimed to asking ikhlas, keep our heart ikhlas. So we can ask Him every day, every time. And of course the best thing to ask our God is during the night prayers, while nobody or no people see us during the prayers. Fa'tabiru ya ulil albab, wallahu a'lam bissawab. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.